Hi dear students, in this video I am going to talk about balancing the chemical equations and stoichiometric calculations. This is the seventh part of the chapter, some basic concepts of chemistry. Balancing the chemical equations. Students, generally we will use a method that is called as hit and trial method. The method which is used to balance chemical equations is hit and trial method. Right? For example, SO2 gas plus O2 gas gives rise to SO3 gas. Right? Generally, when we are balancing the equations, we will use a law of conservation of mass. For balancing the chemical equations, we will use law of conservation of mass, which will say that in a chemical reaction the total mass of the products is same as the total mass of the reactants, right? Here students, by equating number of same kind of atoms on both sides, we will get a balanced equation. Generally we will use a hit and trial method for balancing the equations, right? Here sulfur 1 atom, oxygen 2 plus 2 4, here it is a 3 atoms are there. So you will make it as a even number. So by putting the quotient of SO3 as a 2, right? So then now the sulfur atoms has become 2. So we will put here also 2, right? Now let us calculate how many oxygens are there. 2 3s are 6. Here 2 2s are 4 plus 2, that is a 6. So this is a balanced equation. For example, when you take a thermal decomposition of calcium carbonate, which gives calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide, CO2 gas, right? Number of calcium atoms on both sides 1 1, carbon is 1 1, oxygen 3, here oxygen 1 plus 2 is 3, it is a self balanced equation, right? Similarly, if you take a PCl5 gas, decomposition will give PCl3 plus Cl2. This is also a self-balanced equation, right? So, if it is a combustion of hydrocarbon is given, like C3H8, propane plus oxygen, burning in presence of oxygen is called as a combustion. So, the combustion of any hydrocarbon will give us CO2 gas and water, H2O, CO2 and H2O. This can be balanced as, there is a general form of balancing a combustion reaction of hydrocarbon, that is CXHY plus X plus Y by 4 O2, X plus Y by 4 O2 gives rise to X CO2 plus Y by 2 H2O. In the case of propane, C3H8, X value is, that is 3, Y value is 4, Y value is 8, right? Y value is 8. Then here, what is the quotient of O2? O2 is X plus Y by 4 O2. X is 3, Y by 4, 8 by 4 is 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5, right? X plus Y by 4 O2, and for the quotient of CO2 is X. Here what is the X value in the propane? 3, right? For water, coefficient is Y by 2. So 8 by 2 is 4. So 4H2O. This is a balanced equation for the combustion of propane. This is a general form of combustion equation of any hydrocarbon, right, which gives a CO2 gas and water. But whereas in the case of redox reactions, while balancing, here I will write, while balancing redox reactions, special methods are used. Special methods are used. When we try to balance the redox reactions by using the hit and trial, we won't get. This is very, very difficult. Sometimes it is impossible to do by using hit and trial method. While balancing the redox reactions, we need to use special methods. Out of those methods in the syllabus of redox reaction chapter, we have two methods. That is, one is oxidation number method. Oxidation number method. Another one is ion electron method. Ion electron method. These two methods we will discuss in the chapter redox reactions. Okay. Dear students, next topic is stoichiometry and stoichiometric calculations. Stoichiometry and stoichiometric calculations. This stoichiometry will talk about calculations of relative amounts of products and reactants, right? The stoichiometry is derived from the Greek words, two Greek words. Stoichiometry is derived from two Greek words. One is stoichion, which means element. Stoichion means element. Metron means measurement. Metron means measurement. Okay, so this will talks about relative amounts, quantitative amounts, quantitative relationship between the reactants and the products. So that's why it is called as stoichiometry. Stoichion means element, metron means measurement, elemental calculation, quantitative analysis. It will give amounts, relative amounts. This is can be done in three methods. One is mass relationship, mass relationship, mass volume relationship, mass volume relationship, volume relationship, volume relationship, volume relationship. Three different methods it is here. Okay, that means mass of the reactant is given. They're asking how much product is, how much weight of the product is formed, like that, right? And mass of the reactant is given, how many liters of the product is formed, or how many liters, how many ml of the product is formed. Volume is given. So for given amount of the reactant, that volume in liters or the ml, how many liters or how many ml of the product is formed. So stoichiometric calculations can be done in three different ways. Possibilities are there: mass relationship, mass volume relationship, volume relationship, right? So next we will discuss about the important topic in the stoichiometry, that is a limiting reagent. Dear students, The important concept in the stoichiometry is limiting reagent. Limiting reagent. Students, for example, we want to prepare ammonia gas from the Haber's process. Equation, balanced equation for that Haber process is N2 gas plus 3H2 gas gives rise to 2NH3 gas. We want to prepare the ammonia gas. Here, let us assume that it is a irreversible reaction. Generally, we know it is a reversible. Let us assume, for example, it is a irreversible reaction. Here, that number of moles of N2 is 1, number of moles of H2 is 3, number of moles of ammonia is 2. This is in the balanced equation, right? So, if you take the molecular weight of N2 is 28, N2 is 28, hydrogen molecular weight is 2, right? Ammonia molecular weight is 17, right? When we take that is a weight of one molecule, 1 mole of N2, that is a 1 into 28, we will get it as a, we can call it as a mass in grams. If it is a 1 mole, for this I am taking, for the balanced equation, 1 mole of N2 means 28 grams, which is also called as a gram molecular weight. Molecular weight in the grams, that is called as a gram molecular weight. 1 mole of N2 mass is a 28 grams. For hydrogen, 3 moles it is there. 1 mole it is a 2 grams. 3 moles it is a 6 grams. 6 grams, right? 3 2s are 6 grams. For ammonia, molecular weight is 17. For 2 moles it is a 34 grams. 2 moles of ammonia weight is 34 grams. So, for example, if I want to produce 34 kilogram of ammonia, then I need 6 kilogram of hydrogen, 28 kilogram of nitrogen, right? Students, on the paper, from the balanced equation, that is from the theoretical calculations, if I want to prepare 34 kilogram of ammonia, I need 6 kilogram of hydrogen and nitrogen is 28 kilogram, right? The ratio only. This is in the grams, then directly we can take this magnitude is the same and units we can change, right? Then in the practical cases, it is not possible, because any reaction, it never goes to the completion. 100% conversion, it is not possible. So, for example, we are running some industry, then we need to reduce the production cost of ammonia. 1 kg, for example, one company, A company is giving for 1 kg of ammonia. Let us assume that ammonia they are giving, this is for the some 20 rupees. That B company it is giving, it is only at 18 rupees. Then people will purchase from this, because how they are able to give at 18 rupees is by reducing the production cost. On this paper, the theoretical calculations, this will okay, but no reaction is 100% conversion is not possible in any reaction, right? So, what we will take, how to reduce the production cost is that which one is expensive, the expensive, that we will take in the exact stoichiometric proportion. That is, if you want to produce a 34 kilogram of ammonia, I will take hydrogen as a 6 kilogram, which is expensive, but nitrogen is cheaper in the cost, because 79% by volume in the air, it is a nitrogen only. So, instead of taking 28 kilogram, I will take nitrogen as a 50 kilogram or the 40 kilogram. then the completely that H2 will be reacted, so that 1 unit cost will be reduced. So the one which is completely consumed in the reaction, that is called as a limiting reagent. The other reagent which we are taking in the excess, that is called as a excess reagent. The amount of the product is decided only by the limiting reagent, right? Students, limiting reagent is the reactant which is completely consumed in the reaction. The other reactant is known as excess reagent. The amount of products will be decided only by the limiting reagent. Students, in this process, if you want to prepare 34 grams of ammonia, we need 6 grams of hydrogen, which is expensive, so we will take exact proportion only 6 kilogram. But in the case of nitrogen, instead of taking 28 kilogram, I will take 40 kilogram or 50 kilogram, which is cheaper, so that 1 unit production cost will be reduced. Then that hydrogen will be completely consumed in the reaction, that is called as a limiting reagent. Other reactant is called as a excess reagent, and amount of the product is always decided by the limiting reagent only, right? The reactant which is completely consumed in the reaction is called as limiting reagent, right? Here full stop. So the other reactant is called as a excess reagent, and the amount of products will be decided only by the limiting reagent only. Students, let us take one simple question to understand limiting reagent concept. Dear students, to understand the limiting reagent concepts more detail, let us take one simple question. 1 mole of each oxygen and hydrogen gases are filled in a steel vessel and exploded. Calculate the number of moles of water formed in the reaction. Students, this is based on the question is based on the limiting reagent concept, right? So first let us write the balanced equation. H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O, right? H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O. We can balance this equation like 2H2 plus O2 gives rise to 2H2O. This is balanced equation, right? So from the balanced equation, the mole ratios are 2:1:2. 2 moles of hydrogen is reacting with the 1 mole of oxygen, which gives 2 moles of water, right? So here we need to calculate the amount of water also in the number of moles. and the given data also, that is a 1 mole of each it is present. First let us write from the balanced equation. From balanced equation, number of moles, hydrogen is 2, oxygen 1, water formed is 2, right? Given moles, 1 mole of each it is given, First we need to decide which is the limiting reagent. Based on the limiting reagent we can calculate the amount of product formed, right? 1 mole it is given. So from the balanced equation, 1 mole of oxygen requires 2 moles of hydrogen, but given is only 1, right? From the balanced equation, 1 mole of oxygen requires 2 moles of hydrogen. Then but here for 1 mole of oxygen only 1 mole of hydrogen is present. So that means the hydrogen will be the limiting reagent. Here because it is less than the required proportions, right? Or else you can write like this. From the balanced equation, 2 moles of H2 requires 1 mole of O2. From the balanced equation. If it is a 1 mole of H2 requires how many moles? Question mark. How many moles? Let us assume it as N. How many moles of O2? Given value is 1 mole. So let us calculate for 1 mole of H2 how many moles of O2 is required, right? So do the cross multiplication. 2 into N is 2N is equal to 1 into 1 is 1. So N is equal to 1 by 2, right? The number of moles of oxygen required is only 1 by 2, but it is a 1 mole. For 1 mole of hydrogen, number of moles of oxygen required is 1 by 2, that is 0.5 only. But this is 1 mole is given. That means here limiting reagent is hydrogen. Excess reagent is other reactant, oxygen is a excess reagent. Amount of the product is always decided by the limiting reagent only, right? From the given data, hydrogen is limiting reagent. Amount of product is decided by limiting reagent, that is hydrogen. Amount of the product is decided by the limiting reagent. Here students, from the balanced equation, 2 moles of hydrogen is producing 2 moles of water. Then 1 mole, given as 1 mole of H2 will produce how many moles of water? Same, that is a 1 mole of water, right? So the answer, 1 mole of water is produced, right? This is about the limiting reagent, and the limiting reagent is the reactant which is completely consumed in the reaction, and the amount of the product is decided by the limiting reagent only, right? So this is one of the important concept from this chapter, right? Thank you very much.